Greetings, this is Mike from pinballhelp.com. Here I am continuing work on this Red and Ted's Roadshow, and I've got the game fired up and everything, and I'm just running through. I noticed a few little minor things, and I'm going to go over what I've noticed looking at the playfield. I fired up a game, and one of the flippers on the left would pulse. It would flip, and then it would die down. Now, I didn't know if that was meant to be like that when you press the flipper button, it just goes one pulse and dies. If not, then it led me to think that there might be a problem with the EOS switch. So I looked up here, and this I believe is the upper left flipper. Let's see if we can see what the problem is. Move this out of the way. See right there? This is one of the wires on the end of the switch, and it broke off. So that's what's causing that flipper pulse. When I press the flipper button, it flips and then it goes back down. So obviously what's happening is when the flipper fires, let's see if you can see this here. When the flipper fires, there's our end of stroke, which is it's a make switch. So it closes when the flipper closes. So what it's doing is it's sending the power through this other part of the coil, but it's broken off. So I'm going to have to solder that. That'll fix that flipper problem. I also noticed that some of the optos were not working. And this game has a couple of not optos, proximity sensors. Has a couple of areas where the game needs to identify where the ball is, and there's not a switch visible on the playfield. So it uses what's called a proximity sensor. And let's take a look at this. This right here is the board for the proximity sensor right there. See that with the little LED on it? Now when I first got it, I was wondering why there was a nail file in here. Presumably to adjust this. So you see the light goes on right there? There's a little potentiometer. Let me zero in on that. Okay, and you see right here there's a little pot that you can twist in an LED. When the light is on, that means it's detecting the ball. There's a connector, and I'll back off just a little bit so you can see. This is connected to this little sensor back here. There's two of them. There's a proximity board over here and there's one here. So you see it's on, it's always triggering. That's not what we want. So I adjust the pot until the LED light goes off. See, just there. Then I take my ball and I put it on the other side of the playfield where the proximity sensor is supposed to be. See? And see how the light goes on? So we know that's working. And I adjusted the same one on the other side, so there's two proximity sensors. So now I've got those working. See, one board here and one board here. And you'll see, as I move the ball towards, the right one's going to go off. Okay? And now move it to the second one. There's the left one. So both of those proximity sensors are now adjusted. So this is a common thing on a lot of the modern Bally Williams games. Have these proximity sensors. Star Trek and Twilight Zone and a few others. Does Twilight Zone have one? I know Star Trek does, because they kind of definitely have some issues. The Outlanes in Star Trek use proximity sensors. But they just need a little bit of adjustment. Sometimes you can, if you're still having problems with them, you can put a little dab of clear nail polish over the pot just to try to lock it in, keep it from vibrating. Because obviously this game has a shaker motor in it, so shaker motors and potentiometers that need very sensitive settings don't go well together. Let's see. The only other thing I notice is there's some stripped gears here. There's a little some of the teeth on the gear for operating Ted's mouth needs a little bit of work. Nothing major. I'll mess with that later. I just want to get this game working and play around with it a little bit. So that's where we're at. Just thought I'd show you a little bit more progress on this. I'm going to fire up the soldering iron and fix that little end of stroke switch on the flipper, and then play a few more games and see if I see anything else that's wrong. So that's it. Basically, in this episode, I'm just showed you how to adjust these proximity sensors so that you can get them working again. That's it. Visit my website, pinballhelp.com, for more. Thanks for watching.